I am Doomsvince, and this is day 24 of Spawn Year.
Today, Doomsvince dangled a gift in front of me, a special pen that never runs out of ink. No more draining my own blood to write with every day, and after 4 days I was just beginning to get used to it. All I have to do to get this pen is write 5 kind things about Doomsvince in this entry, subtly mixed in with my critique of this issue. Compliment Doomsvince 5 times while reviewing Spawn. I think writing in my own blood every day might be easier, but I'll try. Issue 19 opens with exactly the last person you would ever expect to appear in a Spawn comic. Harry Houdini. Yes, the magician. If I can say anything about this book, it's this. Like Doomsvince, it's certainly unpredictable and totally out of nowhere. Tom Orzechowski, the letterer and editor of the book, finally gets to take a stab at plotting, or at least co-plotting with Andrew Grossberg, and the very first thing he does is introduce Houdini into the supporting cast. I imagine most readers reacted the way I did. Okay. But just as Doomsvince surprised me when he sent me to this graveyard and turned out to have a decently fiendish plot against me, this issue has a good plan for Houdini, albeit an unconventional one. I was relieved to learn that in this continuity, Houdini wasn't just some all-powerful magical being who pretended to be an escape artist, but that everything history says he did, he really did, and later discovered real magic and became a powerful sorcerer. If a human were to figure out how to harness and manipulate magic, Houdini seems a logical candidate, and since the existence of paranormal, physics-defying energies are well established in this world with the recently explained psychoplasm, and yes, I'm writing the word psychoplasm every chance I get, it is a lot of fun to see how that fits in with history we're familiar with. Houdini's purpose here primarily seems to be to train Spawn in the ways of magic, showing him how to use his costume, which we now know is a living symbiotic organism, and expend its energies rather than draining Spawn's magics directly and endangering his power levels. We're learning a lot this issue about how both Spawn's magic and magic in general works. I had no idea before that the costume had its own separate energy, and now we also know that magic itself comes from another plane of existence, a plane that intersects all other realms called the Overlap, where there are no laws of physics. It's described quite appropriately as, quote, a laboratory without bounds. The big looming threat building in the background is a group of demons trying to manipulate a nuclear test to see if an atomic bomb can affect infernal matter, otherwise known as stuff that comes from hell. Like Doomsvince, Orzechowski and Grossberg certainly have their own unique way of describing and naming things. These demons from the Overlap have names like this. Like the backward letters in issue 11, I have no idea how this would be pronounced aloud. How do you even say that middle symbol? In math, it denotes a logical conjunction. So is his name % logical conjunction 2? That makes this other guy % logical conjunction 9 then. I guess it only makes sense if you're in that plane of existence where nothing makes any sense. The issue is mostly set up, and I won't really have any opinions on these ideas until I have a better idea of where they're headed. We have a team of 3 scientists from the former Soviet Union visiting America as part of the formal end of the Cold War, which certainly dates the book, but given that we've already seen another Spawn from a specific year with medieval Spawn, Al Simmons seems like he's meant to be the Spawn of the 90s rather than just generically a modern Spawn. As the series continues, current events intruding on Spawn could make things interesting. He is a character who doesn't age, so the series could move along in real time, if that's the idea, though if it is, Spawn hasn't accomplished much in a year and a half. We're also introduced to a 22-year-old guy who blows up alley bums in his spare time, and even tries to blow up Spawn. He'll obviously factor into the atomic bomb plot, I'm sure. I think these writers have a better command of narrative than McFarlane, though Morrison they are not, but they experience some of the same problems sometimes when trying to give people things to say. What kid in 1994 describes his life as undertasked? Even Doomsvince writes more believable dialogue for himself than that. Houdini hands Spawn tickets to a talk about atomic weapons after they're attacked in the middle of Houdini's lecture, as if on cue by some random thugs. Then we get a hysterical image of Spawn in a chauffeur's hat driving a Rolls-Royce, like that really helps to make him inconspicuous. I'm not sure of Houdini's motivations yet. Something about his thought balloons make me think he's not quite telling Spawn everything. I should also mention the weird publishing order that happened according to a page in the back because, quote, Todd can't count, where issues 21 through 24 came out before 19 and 20, so he devotes 2 full pages this issue to encouraging the reader not to read on until everything is out. Wow. Doomsvince is more organized. He had popsicles all ready for Creepy Popsicle Day. Well, Todd may not be able to count, but my question is, does he know what a logical conjunction is? Well, apparently I'll still be writing in blood tomorrow. Doomsvince says my compliments were too subtle, and he didn't notice any of them. I'm not surprised. I take back all those nice things I said about him. He's entirely predictable. Oh, and now he tells me that thing is called a carrot, because %Carrot 2 is such a better name. Signed, Captain Logan.